Congratulations. It's simply nice to see you. Okay, no, that was too cheesy. Um, I am glad you made it to episode 2. If you made it here, that means you didn't find me that annoying and that you could find me somewhat tolerable. Maybe you like the sound of my voice. Maybe you just follow me because you like my TikToks and you're giving me a chance to actually talk to you through the phone. This is where we get to know each other. This is where we are. And the first and foremost topic I want to talk about is let's talk about Simon Squibb, okay? Simon Squibb is a really nice guy. I find him very motivating. I watch him on TikTok. If you've never seen him, I recommend looking him up. It's literally the name Simon, like Simon says, and then Squibb, Squibb. And he's kind of like an angel investor. He gives out money, which is always nice. But he also has all these videos of people talking about things and actually like asking about dreams and going around and just like trying to see why people aren't 100% doing what they want to do. And a lot of it comes down to the things that I've said in life, like money, time, uh, expectations, work. And I will give you that there are probably different circumstances where people have those issues and, they don't exactly have the leeway. But I think something that Simon says, yeah, Simon says, Simon says that put your hand on your face. And I'm doing that. I know you can't see me. I don't know why I did it. But anyway, um, he says that basically the older you get, the harder it is because you'll have more responsibilities. And I find that partially true. Um, I've had multiple opportunities where I definitely could have put in a lot more effort, especially in my past, but I procrastinated. I found reasons not to do things. And that is why I brought him up. That is why I brought him up because he's motivationally positive. He tells basically the truth about how motivation can get you far and that, you don't have to work every day. Like I think when I do stuff, whether it be my animations or TikToks or YouTubes, I'm just any YouTube video I'm trying to do, I'm kind of just stuck in this like you have to work, you have to post, you have to work, you have to post, which is why I started simple because I think that simple is supposed to be simple. And I think that this is simple in the fact that right now I'm doing what I want. I'm doing what I love. I'm doing pet sitting. I'm talking to you. I'm getting something out there. And I might not be famous, but I'm definitely doing the best I can right now. I'm working with what I have. I'm not using a fancy equipment. Like I said, I'm just using my phone to walk around and talk about things. And it's the same day. So, episode 1 about me, and then this episode, there's really no time in between. I'm just trying to break it up so that everybody gets a good, even pace. And the nice thing is, that I can go do this anywhere. So good old Simon Squibb has basically put me in this spot where I'm kind of feeling like I do, in fact, have the power to not only change my general destiny, but like I would love to meet this guy because he did motivate me. Um, I would, I went all the way to, I went to London, I went to Paris, I went to Scotland, um, and I went to Madrid. And I haven't seen him in Madrid, but I was really hoping while we were in London or even Paris that we would have run into this guy because he's always on the streets there. I was in Glasgow, uh, Edinburgh. I was everywhere. And I feel like I had a really good European vacation with my family. And I don't think I would discount it. I wouldn't say that this is like ruining my vacation, but I definitely kept my eye out because, it's pretty easy to see a guy with a microphone. You never know where he's going to be. I don't know if he definitely frequents locations. And I know that he sets up a doorbell, a Ring doorbell, so that he can just, like, put up videos of people telling people through the camera what their dreams are. And I guess technically, if I really wanted to tell him my dream, I could branch out and maybe use TikTok. But I'm on this new path of being simple. I'm not trying to be over the top. I've been kind of downgrading things in my life recently. So like I had a Fitbit, and I know that's not like a super great smartwatch, but I had a newer Fitbit, and things just kind of felt like, with the way things are going, technology wise, Fitbits, smart devices, um, something I didn't realize, which is what set this off, is that basically everything is smart and you don't need it to be. Like, I don't need a Wi Fi microwave, I don't need a Wi Fi stove. I understand the TV, with all the streaming services and whatnot, but even streaming services kind of seem like they're not in the right place right now. Whether they're going to turn out better, or we all just go back to what seems like cable, or cable is coming back. I don't know what's happening. Okay. Um, I had this epitome. No, that's not the right word. I had this. Well, I can't think of the right word. So I'm going to say I had this motivation that I don't know what I was trying to say. Epitome is what came in my head, and that was not the correct word. I had this motivation, this sudden realization. There we go. Well, it's not realization, but that's better. That's a much better word. I had a realization that I've been trying to do animation since 2013, and I was kind of procrastinating and all these things. I don't have to like what's on television. In fact, a lot of the times I I go into, especially Netflix. I don't know what it is about Netflix, but Netflix has a really low rate of appealing to me, and I'm probably like the low end. Like, I honestly care very little for my Netflix subscription for a couple reasons. And it probably started around Stranger Things season 4. No, maybe 3. Sorry. I don't know what season we're on. And I didn't I just don't like Stranger Things. But they tried to push Stranger Things so much that somewhere along the lines I said, this is just annoying. I don't find the ads for this stuff appealing. I actually now am deterred from watching anything related to this show. And it's a fairly popular show. But then I had a Squid Games phase where once Squid Games came out, I was like, okay, you're not making anything I want. You're not making any good shows. Everything looks like a used DVD library. Let's stop and rethink this. So the realization I had was basically, I don't need to watch TV. I can just become my own television. I have all these show ideas. Maybe I'm telling myself I'm sick of the other content, so I need to make the content. So that's kind of what's been driving me more than anything. And part of the reason I slow down is because I say things get in the way, or time, or whatnot. Like, I'll say I have to work, or I have to go, do chores, or maybe laundry. I hang out with friends. Whatever the reason is, when it comes to existing and like being proactive, I find that the only thing that gets in my own way is myself. So I'm the only one stopping me from doing things. And yes, you can have all the fancy tools, you can get all the fun equipment and different software, but most of the time you have to work with what you have. And then you'll find, even if when you go and purchase the fancy software, like if you got Photoshop, or you think you need fancy pencils to draw better, the things you come from are really where you learn your best skills. So never discount what you're using and what you like to use. And I think that the biggest thing I'm learning is that to be simply in the zone, you just need to do something and make sure that you're doing something that brings you joy. So it's not anything larger. Like you don't have to make it work, okay? Because the things that work are the things that make you happy. And if doing nothing makes you happy, sometimes that's people. Sometimes that just means you need rest. Sometimes that just means you're burnt out. But I, right now, am happiest when I make something, I finish something, and it doesn't have to be very big. And sometimes it's just a piece of something that I thought of. End result, I'd say never give up. But it could be simpler.